there aren't too many people that you know that will go to a cow and smash it in the head to cook it. That's they don't have
Yeah.
the stomach for it.
Indeed. What I really, really, really want to emphasize, also for the audience that is listening, watching this, I really want to emphasize that yes, it can be quite a process if you are feeling like, okay, this doesn't feel good to me either, and I don't have the intention to harm other beings, but I do like meat, and I do like the taste of it. I do like the structure, or I really need it. Or you even say I don't need it, but it's, so hard to me, or or perhaps you even want to, yeah, you don't want to feel the, perhaps even I again I will bluntly say, because we've been through the process as well, so you know
Yeah,
um, and maybe you feel a bit guilt about it, but I really want to emphasize, first of all, you really got to take the guilt out of it, because
yes,
we've all been, a lot of us have been doing it because it was told us that it was beneficial, that it's good for you, even for your health and well-being, and etc. And then also at one point you can acknowledge something, can acknowledge the facts, and that you don't want this because it's not it doesn't feel good to you, but you don't have to feel, you don't have to be so hard on yourself and
yeah,
feel guilty about it, and remain in that negative vicious circle. And you should really be aware of the fact that there are people like us, for example, that if you really need or want support in this, because it's really, you're really getting crazy about it, you're really like,
yeah,
oh,
exactly.
what did I do? I'm sorry for my language. I can't live with this. Yes, you can. We
Yeah,
we can also help you through this process, and I really want
I,
to emphasize that, because there's not really too much, um, how to say it, attention for that part. I is my experience.
that's
So,
true.
hmm
Yeah, I would say this too, just to add on to your point. I call it the aha moment. It's
right.
basically AHA. It's an admission, it's honesty and acceptance. So you have to come to terms and admit to yourself that there is a problem.
Yes,
You know,
indeed.
and then once you admit the problem, then you have to be honest with yourself on how you're going to be able to move forward. And then then you have to accept it and make changes. And I think enough people don't do that, and they have to realize that in life is
It's
ratio.
with
Whether you
everything
get
in
it,
you. Yeah,
when you get a new job, like you have to structure your lifestyle according to your job.
indeed.
So it's sacrifice. Everything is sacrifice. And you can't stay in your same comfort zone and expect better results.
Indeed,
So I tell
because
people
the
all the
game
time,
you,
you
yeah.
have to sit there and admit to yourself that something has to change, and then
hmm
the changes will come. So I think that's the aha moment about it.
Yes, and definitely for the better. You will always gain a lot, and there's a lot of value on the other side, if you want to call
Exactly.
it that way. Okay. Um, yeah, what else do you do with people? Because you were also talking about, exercise, and what I also
hmm
said, you were a personal trainer. So what do you want to tell about that?
So being someone who used to eat like meat and everything of that nature, whenever I'm structuring like meal plans for people, I try my best to do it in a macro form. So I do proteins, fats, and carbs just to focus more on the nutrition side. But what I try to do is that, especially if they're big time meat eaters, I try to give them substitutes. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell them like,
Definitely.
hey, there's this, or there's
Yes,
Beyond Meat, or you can up your lentils and your
indeed.
kidney beans, things of that nature to
Because a lot of
basically.
people have difficulty with that, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I tell people all the time, like you can get a lot more protein from just drinking like a shake than you could having to process a steak. You know.
Indeed.
So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, even if they haven't transitioned over, or anything, I'm not so biased to a point where I haven't been there, you know. And I think that's what happened. I think some people, when they've been vegan for as long as we have, we kind of get into a mindset of, oh, that's just gross to me. I'm not associated with anybody who's not vegan, and it's like, but that would almost be hypocritical on us.
Yeah, definitely, because
to push them to
we've
a
been
side.
there ourselves. Yes.
Yeah, when I didn't go vegan until I was 31 years old. So I mean, yeah, when I'm 36. So yeah, so about 5 years ago, I was about 30, turning 31 at the time. So, and I know even on a functionality of like the planet, if we want to think on a bigger scale, like so, it would be more plausible for people to reduce their meat intake by 50 to 60, 70% than to stop completely. Even that would turn the ratios around and we would get better over time. So I try my best to implement as much as I can of plants and fruits and vegetables because that's the staples at the end of the day. You can survive a lot more on that than meat.
Yes, indeed. That is also how it went with me. I also, it went gradually. First I became, started to eat less of this meat and that, and I became vegetarian, and later on I switched, turned off the switch, and then I became vegan. My partner, on the other hand, decided a couple of years ago in January, he read something about how that there are billions of animals killed every year, and someone asked, could it be some less? And he was like, okay, I don't take half measures, I just do it right away. But he, in his previously in his life, already had these periods that he ate or vegetarian or totally vegan. And in hindsight, he also realized that. So for him, it was in that way. And for some people, it does work indeed to just to tackle it right away. And but that's not for everyone. And there are most of the time, it's really that people have to do it gradually indeed. And that's what you say is very important indeed, because I also did that. That you really explore on what you can use as a addition for healthy nutrition, and that you can really really can transition to the other to the more beneficial
absolutely. That's because it's all steps at the end of the day.
Indeed.
Like I see, if I told people, like, if it had to be this way, like the perfect world would be stop it completely, you know, that would be a perfect world. But I tell them a transition that they need to make, and quickly, if they can, like cut out the red meat, steaks and pork and fish, cut all of that out, lamb and everything. Transition, if you need to transition down, then maybe indulge in a little chicken and fish. But while you're doing this, up your plants, because that'll fill you as you're going. Because people don't realize that it's low calorie, but it's denser, so you're gonna satisfy yourself a lot quicker. Then you won't have to indulge in so much of the other side. Then go pescatarian, but still up your plants, get rid of the eggs, things of this nature, and then transition over to vegetarian. Because I know a lot of people, especially my clients, like that I've heard, like
vegan
milk
is very
that's the hardest thing to get rid of, you know. And then once you're able to get a grasp on that,
for example, it's really
it's addictive. Like scientifically, it's addictive to the brain.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to transition off of. But once they do that, then they can transition completely vegan by finding, cheese supplements, and, like cashew, walnuts, peanuts, all of that. You can make that and supplement it in, and that'll be a good way to transition. So that's a good way to wean yourself off of it.
And indeed, why again it's a process that goes gradually is because there's also a lot of conditioning, right, that has to be undone. Yeah, definitely. Great, thank you. So do you want to tell more about the exercise as well? A little bit about what it does for people and in your health and well-being?
Absolutely.
Why do you do this work?
I'm a big component of if you don't use it, you lose it. You know, as we age, especially, um, you know, muscle in the body tends to atrophy if it's not being used. And the first thing that usually goes, especially in older people, is their legs. Their legs are usually the first to go. And the reason why is because they stop activating. They
Mhm.
stop activating their hips. They start getting up less. They start watching more TV. They start sitting down more.
Right.
And
Yeah.
of course, that's given with slowing down. You're not as active as you once were. Aches and pains. These things happen. But when you're able to do things, something as simple as a quick, 30, 40-minute exercise, that'll in stretching, things of that nature, keeping up your activity level. As long as you can keep that up,
Yes.
the better you can do. So I tell people that's the difference between the 65-year-old you see rocking back and forth in the rocking chair and the one that's going up the street with the kids. Is because some people just let their legs go. You
Yeah.
can get it back by strengthening your glutes. So I'm a big component of like resistance training, especially like band training, because as you get older, it's less taxing on the joints,
Right.
and it just keeps the body moving. And we all know how important muscle is because,
Definitely.
as I said before, the more lean muscle you have on your body, the less fat you're going to generate over time. Because as you gain more fat on your body, you're more prone to more chronic diseases over time. That's
Yes.
why very, very is important. Full body workouts and just activity every week, 3 to 4
Definitely.
times a week with
Yes.
some rest days. Rest is very important too, but that's what I believe in when it comes to
Yes.
resistance and muscle building.
Thank you. Great. So what you actually also are telling is you actually have it in your own both hands, right? You can do a lot yourself with your health and well-being, and it's really a matter of choice as well. And as I said
Yes.
before, sometimes it can be hard, and maybe you don't have the right environment that is supporting you in that. But really think of your own well-being and health. It's for you, right? And if your body doesn't work anymore, and if it doesn't do what you want anymore, you have to do with your body and your health and well-being and your strength, and nobody else
That's right.
deals with it, right? So it's really your thing, your choice, and
It's
you
your
have to choose for yourself, you know?
it's your journey for sure because
Yeah.
I used to be a big component of working out with people. And it's good. It's good at first. There's a motivation tactic, but motivation is fleeting. So while your motivation sways, their motivation will too. I think some people forget we're not robotic. We have our up and down days. Even me as a trainer, I'm not always like, oh, let's go, guys. It's like some days I'm gonna have bad days too,
Yeah.
where I'll give you the structure, but I'm not just so into it because I deal through the day. I deal with business. I got a family at home. Like things come up. Maybe I didn't sleep as good the night before because I had things on my mind. So I tell people it's your journey. So if a friend, like if you have a time to meet up at the gym, it's better to say, hey, let's meet here and get our workout in together. And then you go anyway. Because if something happens and they have like the kids or something comes up, now you're bummed out. Now you don't want to go because you waited for them. It's better for you to go and realize that it's your journey and they can come into your journey.
Indeed.
But don't do yourself a disservice and depend completely on this person, on your health and fitness.
Indeed. I'm totally all about that as well. Yes, thank you. So is there something else you want to share with the audience? Do you have a specific message to the people, or is there something else you want to share?
Absolutely. Consistency, guys. Take it one day at a time. You have to, because people tend to think success and progress goes up here. It's like a plane with turbulence. It's up and down. You're gonna have ups and downs when it comes to it, because there's no perfect people. There's no perfection. So you need to take it one day at a time. Like people, I have this saying, and I got it from a show I watched back in the day. It says, if you put one foot too far in the past and one too far in the future, you poop on the present. So you have to take every day as it comes and plan every day. Like put something in your journal and just tell yourself you're going to do this try to complete at least 1 to 3 tasks a day. That way you can get yourself into a habit to making better choices, and then you'll probably complete more. Maybe you complete less, but at the end of the day, if you get one thing done, that's the way to go. So it's all about consistency over time. Like, I didn't get the way I am and look and with clients. That didn't come overnight, guys. This is a 5-year process for me being vegan. It's a 13-year process for me when it comes to honing it and training and getting to a point where I felt confident enough to put my message out there for people. So one day at a time, guys.
Great, thank you. And that is indeed what, in the end, when you take these steps and what you said, perhaps also write it down. I also write a lot down, and then at one point you don't even have to remind yourself about it, because it's so natural that you just do it because it's part of your life, right? But if you at first have to transition or have to take on these other habits to make it natural for you, then please do that. And what I thought is very beautiful as well, and you said that you gained the confidence to share with people, but there are also people that really have to anyway gain some confidence within themselves, and that will also help to do it step by step, indeed, no judgment, and indeed write something little steps down, and then you can celebrate that you have gained your you reached your goal, etc. And then more and more it becomes just like that, you know.
Absolutely.
And,
because when it comes to the health and fitness side, it's like my motto, what I say, my saying is, I help people build their confidence through health and fitness, because a lot of when you look good and you feel good, a lot of times that can bring confidence. Even in the first forefront of it, that can bring some confidence to you. So with that, it gets to help you branch off and get more confidence on other things. Like, well, I was able to accomplish that and get myself together, clean up my place before, because there's a whole thing. Jordan Peterson, I agree with some of his ideologies when it comes to how he says about cleaning your room before you go and try to clean other people's, because we very seldom will have our stuff together before we go out there trying to tell everybody else how they're supposed to. And I don't believe in that. I believe in, cleaning up what I have, and that was me through health and fitness and helping other people. Then you bring that confidence into the world. Then hey, man, you're looking nice, you're looking this, you're looking that, and then people are like, thank you.
Yeah. And how you doing that, right?
And then over that, it starts to bleed into everything else that you have going on when it comes to your confidence, Absolutely.
Great. Thank you. Is there something else you want to share, or?
Well, if anything else, I would say you guys can follow me on my YouTube channel.
That was my next question. Yes, please go ahead, please.
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, everywhere. KHP Fitness and Training. You can find me. Kelvin Hardy. You can find me on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. So reach out to me if you ever need some advice. Yep, website www.khpfitnessandtraining.com. You can go ahead and check out all my reviews. Like, my clients, they love me. So if you ever need to just reach out, even for just advice, if I have a free moment, I'll always answer. You can ask anyone. Like, people will just pop into my inbox and ask me things, and I'll always try to give them at least 5 to 10 minutes of my time in between clients or whatever I'm doing. Just pop on in, guys. I'm here.
Great, thank you very much. So you've heard it. So have no hesitation to contact Kelvin if you like, and if you want to, and perhaps need some support as well. Wonderful, thank you very much, Kelvin. I really enjoyed this conversation.
I did too.
Thank you. And
make sure you follow this beautiful woman. Make sure you follow her.
Thank you. And so we will also definitely hear about you more, and we will keep in contact. So that's totally fine. And
thank you so much.
Going to do your exercises as well with another client, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. So I have about 4 clients to train today, and got a consultation to do. So keep him busy.
Yes, great. So keep up the good work, I would say, and
Right.
until next time.
Thank you, dear. You have a great one.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.